Hello, and welcome to another episode of Break the Cycle with me, your host, Joshua Smith. I hope everyone's having a wonderful Thursday. It is Thursday.
There's only two options for what day of the week we do this show, typically.
Yeah, but it is Thursday. I know that, but I always, I was just off for 2 days, so I just get all weirded out and try and figure out what day it is. But we've been wading through a ton of coping and seething from Democrats and Republicans over the last couple days, so I really haven't paid enough attention, unfortunately. But
eating through, I've been just full of shit.
It's been beautiful.
It
has been. I love it. I don't even give a shit. People are like, "Oh, dude, you let the." I'm like, first of all, I live in Iowa. Okay, we're not sending a single Democrat to Washington.
Did Axney lose?
Yes, Zach Nunn-Beater.
Wow.
We're not sending a single Democrat to Washington. We are only sending Republicans. We have the Republicans have a 62-seat supermajority in the House here. Okay, it's fucking beautiful. And I gotta be honest, like Iowa Republicans, a little different than Republicans where I'm from, where other people live. Like there's actually some like people who like tout Mises here and stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty fucking dope. And also, I mean, it was like everything you could have hoped for except for race. I mean,
pretty much.
Really, it was like everything that we hoped and prayed for in politics here. It happened. You know what I mean? It was fucking beautiful. Before we get too far into this thing, let's talk about some sponsors. Of course, we got TopLobster.com, the man, the myth, the legend, my good friend and partner on Break the Cycle. We can get this great fuck around and find out Lady Liberty gun shirt that you see me wearing tonight by using BTC at checkout. Or you can join the Patreon, subscribe, become a member of the YouTube channel under all my videos by hitting the join link, where you can get into the private Discord server and get all of Top Lobster's new gear up to 2 weeks before it goes to the general public at a 30% discount. And he's actually got some new stuff in there right now that he just dropped, and I know he's got a code in the Discord for anybody who want to do that right now. There's like 10 designs, including the Gaytheon design, which is like one of the best. So you can get the Gaytheon shirt for 30% off right now.
Yeah, and I dropped my own design of an alternative to the I voted sticker, and that's in the Discord for anyone that might be interested.
Is it the
I shitted and farted?
I shitted and farted. Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. And of course, executive producer of the show, anthemplanning.com, for all your emergency and crisis planning needs. Check them out today. See what they can do for your business, home, or personal life. They're doing a wonderful job that the government has historically sucked at much cheaper and much more efficiently. They help organizations solve unsolvable problems in the technology and HR arenas. They serve clients in New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, Illinois, Ohio, Indiana. And their client list is growing. Their team leads by example. Anthem consultants have led their own organizations through demanding periods of change. Now they help clients succeed in the face of technology and personnel challenges. Plus the owner.
You didn't pause on personnel. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I'm getting better. Plus the owner, Amy Lepore, is a good friend. Her husband's a good friend. They're amazing people. They're very hard workers. I couldn't imagine owning a business. Like if I had actually owned a real business and needed some help like planning my business, those are the people that I would call. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Amy is a fucking. You guys go back and watch a show with Amy Lepore on this channel. And you'll definitely want to have her help your business. So go check her out. I promise you, it's worth it, man. It definitely is worth it, dude. I'm still reeling from all the craziness this week, dude. It was so cool. I don't know. What do you think, AJ? Are you happy about the?
I'm physically damaged from this week.
Physically damaged.
Yeah, the partying and the low hours of sleep. But I'm very excited. This is me super excited right now.
He's catching up. He's not wearing sunglasses or a fucking ski mask. We're just rocking.
No.
We're rocking the Carhartts tonight.
Yeah.
It's cold.
It's Carhartt season. Officially.
It started out at 70 something degrees today and then dropped all the way to 40.
It was like 69 when I checked in at work in the morning. I'm a courier, so I drive all day, and it became 47 degrees like 3:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah, it was fucking nuts. Absolutely nuts. Of course, executive producer of the show, Cowell Creative Content. Check them out. They specialize in things like SEO to help your site rank well on Google or other search engines, website design, optimize website content writing, optimize blog posts, copywriting, social media content management, newsletter writing and design, ghostwriting and editing services, resume and cover letter writing, and they work with all kinds of clients, including real estate, addiction treatment, mental health, healthcare, banking, and payment processing. But what, Ryan?
Not the Federal Reserve. Fuck those people.
Fuck those people. They've worked with just about every industry, even libertarian political candidates and influencers such as my good friend and mentor and last guest on the show, Mr. Larry Sharp. They've been in business since 2012 and worked with hundreds of clients. I promise you, if they're good enough for old Lair Bear, they're good enough for you. So go check them out today. Man, what a crazy week.
Yeah, where do we start?
I don't know. Rick Stewart. I mean, the Rick Stewart thing is amazing.
That's huge.
Yeah. If you guys aren't familiar, we need 2% in Iowa in the gubernatorial race to get major party status. That gives us
presidential, right? You got to maintain it every 2 years.
Yeah, it has to be maintained every 2 years.
Every 2 years.
It's got to be presidential race 2 years, and then and the last time it was done here was in 2016 with Gary Johnson.
Correct.
Mama Joe did not get it done. So the first time ever in history of the Libertarian Party of Iowa, a statewide candidate got it done. Rick Stewart got 2.4%. It's not a lot, but it was enough to give us primary access.
Yeah, everybody wanted more. Everybody was, I was very optimistic. I was expecting 6.
Right.
I wanted 6.
Yeah,
I wanted like a record breaking,
Yeah. But so it's kind of cool because we got access to all kinds of shit now that we didn't have access to, including the primary.
You get your ballot access. That's out of the way. So it's volunteering hours, time and money that you don't have to spend doing that.
Right.
You're on the ballot, and then we can attract more donors.
Well, now in 2024 we can run libertarians against a libertarian in the primary.
Correct.
And it builds more attention on your candidates. And so that's really exciting for anybody who's a libertarian in Iowa. You got to be excited about that. You got to be excited about the fact that we're going to be a major party. We don't have to go out and get like crazy petitions to get on the ballot. Just have an L next to our name, and that's how it's going to be. So there's a good possibility I'm going to run in 2024. It's going to make things very easy, much easier on me.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Claire Celsey won, and she's the state senator, so they're every. I won't be able to run against 6, which is fine, but I can run against Jenny Confirst, or whatever, because they're only 2 years.
I believe so. I think you're correct.
Yeah,
on
I
that.
think they're only every 2. That'll be exciting. Maybe I'll run against her. She sucks, and she beat my good friend Mark, rooting for Republican. I actually, when I was going to run in my district, we sat down and had coffee. Me and he was one of the Republicans that I talked to about, like, look, don't run a Republican in this district because I get to run in a district that you guys know you're going to lose badly in. I mean, they probably would have been lucky to get 30% in that, but I was like, I get to do it without the stigma of R next to me. And there are districts that we can do that in Iowa. If you look down the list, there were so many uncontested races.
There's I have a prediction that those spots are gonna be filled next time around.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be libertarians.
Yeah,
for sure. And we're gonna recruit the fuck out of some libertarians around here.
That's the next phase. Yep.
So they're sending John Fetterman to the Senate, buddy. How do you feel about this, Ryan?
Fetterman is the senator we all deserve. Honestly, so I was talking about this with some non-libertarian people today, and we came to the conclusion that it was essentially a microcosm of the presidential race. Except, Fetterman was more far gone, and Oz was just far less likable. And there wasn't the entertainment value.
Oz is one of those. I think the problem with Oz was that he's one of those guys that ran Republican just to get on the ballot. He's not a fucking Republican. He's like a neocon.
He's a narcissist.
Well, yeah, he's a narcissist too. But I mean, he was an abortion supporting, fucking masker, vaccine pushing, fucking. You know what I mean?
Gun grabbing.
Yeah, gun grabbing. Yeah, he's not a Republican. But
isn't it weird that like low taxes is no longer like a Republican thing? When I was growing up, like low taxes, that was tax cuts. That was one of the Republican tenets. Now it's like, no, we don't give a fuck about that.
That was
anymore.
a Trump thing, but he was a populist, so it wasn't necessarily a Republican.
Well, and Trump supported Oz. I mean, he supported. He's also supported Herschel Walker.
Do you think? Okay, so you think that has something to do with
I think it does.
Tried to slam DeSantis.
Yeah,
he slammed DeSantis, and DeSantis won by like a record-breaking margin in Florida.
He even won like Miami County or whatever.
Yeah,
Maybe that was a miscalculation.
No, I don't think so. I think it's for
By
real.
Trump?
I think
No. By Trump supporting Oz, maybe that should have been a softer touch.
I think that the era of Trump is over.
I think Trump should have supported Fetterman.
That would have been.
He comes out and says, "I think this guy is as sharp as ever," and I think
but you got to understand.
Yeah.
You got to understand. Trump didn't think that the people that he endorsed were going to lose.
Yeah.
He thought they were going to win. Trump is a textbook narcissist. Okay, rather
he's going to pick the race that's going to win.
Yeah, regardless of if you think you like him or not, you have to admit the guy is all about himself. He's full of himself. He's not going to admit. The guy doesn't admit when he's wrong. You know what I mean? He doesn't.
It's constant self-promotion.
But that was kind of refreshing to have a blatant narcissist.
Sure, yeah. It was, yeah.
Somebody who doesn't try and mask it.
Yeah. But he is a narcissist. Look at this. This is hilarious, dude. I just got a news break. First openly gay man elected a South Dakota legislator. Why is it always about
first?
I don't get it.
Yeah. It implies that gay men were just were clamoring for that position, and they were like, "We don't want no hags around here."
Yeah.
Well, I was talking with a candidate here in Iowa who is transgender, and they were saying that they were interested in like trying to primary against Rick Stewart for governor because they were like, it would look so good with that kind of headline. And I was like,
you know what state you live in?
I don't think you understand. Like, there's a lot of like running on that kind of thing will cause a lot of backlash.
Yeah.
Because
we've had conversations with people in the party about that. And it's about, there's a very fine line between using that as maybe one of your arrows in your quiver and having that as your main draw.
Right.
That's the difference.
Probably. I think I had that same conversation with Jenny Goodell.
Yep. That's who I was talking to.
That's who we're talking. Are we all talking about the same person?
Yeah. I just didn't want to.
And here's the thing about Jenny.
Want to throw out the name?
Let me be very clear about Jenny Goodell. Okay?
Yeah.
First of all, Jenny Goodell, thank you for giving the Republican the win in your district.
That's what happened.
That's 100%.
Mathematically, that's what happened.
Listen. Okay, I want everyone to understand something. There's this hubbub about Chase Oliver right now in Georgia, where they're like, "Oh, he gave the win to the Democrat." No,
I don't think so.
Because Chase is very openly gay, supports Drag Queen Story Hour, supports trans youth, all that stuff, right? He did not draw votes from Georgia Republicans.
Correct.
It's just not the truth. He gave the Republicans on a silver platter the only opportunity to win that Senate seat by throwing a runoff.
Got it. Right.
That's what happened.
So, because in the three-way, there wasn't enough to get over the hump because of the
Chase
spread,
cleared the spread. I mean, he cleared the spread. He got 81,000 votes, dude. And he pulled enough votes away from the left in Georgia to make sure that Warnock did not get that seat. So really, they should be fucking praising.
Yeah, he popped the tires of the Democrats.
Chase gave the Republicans the opportunity to go to a runoff and show back up to the fucking polling stations.
Yeah.
And actually win that Senate seat. Because I guarantee you right now, Chase not been in that race, if there had been no libertarian candidate, Warnock would have won. 100%. I'm under no illusion that he would have lost. He would have won. Okay? So there's three things at play here. A, pick better fucking candidates. Herschel, I'm a diehard Cowboys fan, okay? I fucking
Walker
love the Cowboys.
was a fucking terrible
As
candidate.
Painful as it
he was as painful as it hurts for me
Yeah.
to say this. He was a horrible fucking candidate, wrapped in scandal.
Yep.
Okay. He did not fucking campaign the way that he should have campaigned. He got the kiss of Trump death. I mean, it was like everything was working against him. And for all intents and purposes, he should have lost. Atlanta and Savannah and all the big cities should have gave him the lose. But a very gay, very liberal leaning libertarian who, by the way, I know Chase personally. I've hung out with Chase. I've gone to lunch with Chase. He's a really nice guy, dude. Like a really fucking down to earth, super chill, really laid back, nice guy. Got a big heart. I don't agree with him on a lot of things. And when I made my semi endorsement, you know, and when I posted his debate that he did with Senator Warnock, because Herschel Walker couldn't even show up to the fucking debate.
Mm-hmm.
I said we have some fundamental disagreements, but I like the guy, and I like a lot of his policies, you know, and the drug war, of course, I support that. Justice reform, of course, I support that. Lower taxes, of course, I support that. Increased, I mean, he's a big time gun. I'm
a two-way guy. He's
a big time two-way supporter. Right. I mean, he basically checks all the boxes. I just disagree with him on anything that involves children, right?
Okay.
And that's a big deal for me. I don't know. I would have to really sit down and pick his brain before I could actually give him a vote. But I think that the people of Georgia saw that and were like, oh, well, we don't got to vote for this other guy. We'll vote for him. The Democrats. I don't think it was the Republicans. The Republicans are hardcore against all that shit right now, right? And so what he did was he gave the Georgia GOP the chance, the opportunity at a second stab at the stake, right?
I see.
By forcing it into a runoff. Meanwhile, the GOP, all these fucking losers online, right? They're like, oh, this is why I fucking hate libertarians and this and that. Like, bitch, you wouldn't have a second chance at that fucking seat if it wasn't for the libertarians. Who the fuck do you think you're talking to?
Yep.
Oh, well, it's just
a threat. That's who they're talking
we're fucking
to.
clowns and we can't win and this and that and this and that, or we have all the power to decide your fucking candidate's outcome, bitch. Choose one. You can't have it both ways.
Yeah, the Twitter post called him, said, let the real conservatives do business.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and it was a bad candidate. He had, like I said, he had everything.
Let the real conservatives do shit. Motherfuckers, when's the last time you assholes lowered taxes?
Yeah, what the fuck are conservatives conserving? Nothing.
They're conserving the drone bombs over the Middle East.
I applauded the win of Rand Paul. I applauded the win of Thomas Massey. Like, it was beautiful, dude. The Rees were great. I hope Lauren Boebert wins. It's now flipped. She's winning. Oh, after everybody was celebrating yesterday her loss. She's now winning.
It's flipped?
It was on like the fucking front page of Reddit.
She's up like 700 votes right now.
How are they still counting?
Because some fucking states are just retarded. I don't know. And Arizona's starting to flip too. It looks like Kerry's going to end up winning the governorship there now, even though she was way down. And so it's like, you know,
Kerry's maybe pretty based.
Maybe the Republican, huh?
Kerry Lake is pretty based.
Yeah,
I saw a Kerry Lake video today. It was like, it's like 3 or 4 minutes long. It's good.
She like goes after the corporate media so hard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Great.
She also got the kiss of death from Trump though, so we don't know what's going to happen.
But she got the kiss of life from Malice.
Yeah, that's true. So listen. So this takes me back to my original point. I started making this point about Chase, so that I could tell my friends in the GOP to shut the fuck up, because you would not have had this chance at a runoff if it wasn't for Chase. You should be sending Chase money and telling him that you're going to work on libertarian fucking issues.
It was a chess move.
It was a fucking chess move.
Okay.
Dude. And you would not have been in the position you're in now to win that Senate seat
if he hadn't done it.
Yeah. Now you've got a chance to organize and get your fucking people back to the polls and get Walker in there, who sucks. Okay? He's probably going to fucking push for more wars and do all the shit that neocons do. Okay? But you have the chance to take that fucking Senate seat now because of Chase. So stop talking shit about Chase and go thank the man for giving you a second stab at that cake. Okay? And shut the fuck up. And let the Democrats be crybabies. They're the crybabies. You're not the snowflakes. You've told me for the last 5 years that you're not the snowflake. So stop being a fucking snowflake. Thank the guy and go about your business. He won't be in the runoff. So then we're going to see what really happens, right? Oh, well now we're in a runoff and it was Chase's fault that the Democrats showed up to the polls. No, bitch. Organize your people, show up to the polls and fucking win it. You only are in this position because of that. So it takes me back to my talk about Jenny Goodell. Okay. I used to really respect Jenny. Okay? Jenny's a trans woman in Iowa. I've had conversations with her on the phone. My wife helped out on her campaign some, and they're good friends. And I disagree with her on a few things, but not anything crazy. Like even as crazy as what I disagree with Chase on. Yeah. She's pretty fucking cool. She can be pretty based on things. So I thought, right? And one of the things that I had a conversation with her was like, you know, I don't think that your identity needs to be at the forefront of everything that you do politically. I think it's stupid to use that. And she really didn't put it at the front of every single thing she did. And that was good. But Then after Reno, sometime she signed some petition that was calling me a bigot and shit, and I'm like, fuck.
So
you.
what she told me is that she didn't like read it through.
Sure she didn't.
And she just had people ask her to sign something, and she like looked at it and was like, okay. Yeah. And then she didn't realize what it was actually saying, but I don't know.
Like referenced me, dude.
I don't think anybody can deny if you're in that ideological camp, right? So if you're looking at this from the leftist point of view, no one can deny the amount of pressure that's put on you if you're in that club,
right? To
toe the line. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, and here's the thing. So she ran in a new district. That's a brand new district.
Yep.
They redistricted.
Newly formed in 2020.
Yeah,
correct?
they reformed it after 2020.
2021.
Actually, yeah, I think I think it was last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
They reformed. They redistricted everything all around here, but that was a brand new district. It wasn't even a district before. And so the Democrats, because it was South Ankeny, Altoona, and parts of like Saylorville, the Democrats were like, "That's ours. That's our district," right? Because they thought for sure Ankeny's them. So they threw tons of fucking money in that district. The Republicans and the Democrats spent, I don't know how much money, a ton of fucking money. Like it was over $1 million, $2 million to win a state house seat in Iowa that pays like $18,000 a year. And Jenny comes in and covers the fucking spread, and the Republican walks away with the thing.
Yep.
Okay. And that Republican happens to be the lawyer for Informed Choice Iowa. Okay.
Really?
Yes. That is the Informed Choice Iowa's lawyer. Okay. So if you're familiar with Informed Choice Iowa, that's the medical freedom group here. Okay. Yeah. They're largely based, very libertarian in everything that they do. My fiance is one of the founders of ICI.
Yeah. You told me that. So was that a move?
That's a big move, dude.
Yeah. That was a big move.
That was a good one. Yeah, because that guy literally spends his time working on medical freedom issues. That's what he does. He goes in and litigates medical freedom stuff, like all through the COVID era and everything.
Well, that's good news. Listen, this whole liberty Republican thing, if you can't get a libertarian into that spot, but you can get somebody that is more closely aligned on your platform, I don't see how that's a bad move. Come around to that.
It's a terrible move if you're a part of the loser brigade. It's really bad, dude. You're not allowed to do that kind of stuff, right?
Because that person doesn't want to trans the kid.
Yeah, I see it as an incremental move.
Yeah, and I'm not anti-liberty Republicans at all, dude. I think that I love a lot of my liberty Republican friends, dude, and I'm a big fan of Thomas Massie, dude. It'd be very hard for me as the sitting vice chair of the Libertarian Party. Okay, if Thomas Massie was to run for president, it would be very hard for me not to support that.
I get it.
Very, very, very fucking hard. Like to a point where I would probably have to like resign and go and work on that campaign. You know what I mean?
And that just tells you the level of politics right now. That's how bad it is right now.
That's how bad it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're clawing out of the hole. We're clawing out of the hole.
It's fucking gross, dude. And I hate politics at this point too. I mean, I used to, there was many years where I was a completely non-voting anarchist after the Ron Paul era, because I watched what the Republicans did to Ron Paul as a campaign staffer, basically for Ron Paul in 2008, and knowing that our caucus, our delegates were getting arrested and locked out of caucuses and shit, and there were media blackballs and all this stuff, media blackouts. I mean, it was like I was like, there is no use in being a part of the system at all, and I still have that belief in my heart somewhere. You know what I mean? Like I still do, and getting involved with the Libertarian Party, I don't know if it's made that belief better or worse. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I go back and forth. I try to tell people, people are like, well, you're black pilled. I'm like, I try to tell people like I'm like gray pilled. Okay. Like I hold some hope.
I want to know what the pill is after black pill.
Well,
that's where I'm. Yeah.
That's a full on nihilist.
Maybe it's just the winners here in Iowa. Maybe it's just because of the lack of sleep. But yeah, I wasn't like, listen, man, victories are great. I'm also glad we passed the Freedom Amendment. We'll talk about that. But so today, literally, 2-3 days after, I hear print, shoot, repeat, PSR on YouTube shut down. Had to remove all his content. It's on Odyssey still.
Yeah.
But he his FGC video that he was working on for like almost a year He went to upload it and told me we're gonna cancel his account, and he's got like 2 other accounts that are monetized, and like they come after you the day after you win. You know, the day after you pass something, then you realize they're still coming after you. You know,
of course, yeah.
Yeah.
We got to do one more one short sponsor break here.
Oh yeah,
because I didn't get to all of them. And
I think we have a super chat in waiting.
Yeah, I know, but I always front load all the sponsors, and we have one that's leaving and one that's coming and stuff like that too. But I don't want to keep front loading them. I want to have them in the middle. That's why I want to make the video sponsored ads. But I do need to get to the Blood of Tyrants Merlot. It's absolutely delicious. You guys should check it out. Go to bloodoftyrants.wine and use break at checkout for a 10% discount off your bottle of delicious Blood of Tyrants Merlot. Tyrants are losing their heads over this wine. It's the official spirit of 1776, and some are saying it's anarchy in a bottle. But it is delicious wine. If you like a nice red Merlot, and you want a Merlot, and if you want to have a conversation starter on your desk at all times that says Blood of Tyrants in a bottle, go to bloodoftyrants.wine and use break at checkout for a 10% discount. Good stuff. So the Freedom Amendment's amazing. I don't think people understood when I was trying to tell people. Oh yeah, we do have a super chat. MW Knox 186. Thanks for the $2 super chat. He said he voted for Fetterman for the entertainment. I'm sure a lot of people did.
Oh, is my mic good? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I lost sound in my head.
None of us should have sound in our headphones.
Okay.
I don't have the monitors on tonight.
All right. I had them like sitting back.
Yeah, we don't even need them.
Never mind
these things. Actually,
if Fetterman ever does a filibuster, it's must-watch TV.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be like prime time, like better than anything on Fox or CBS. Or
like you do that at the same time as the Super Bowl. It's like 50-50 which one I'm watching. Even if like the Vikings are playing in the Super Bowl, it's like I'll probably have Fetterman on his second monitor.
I hate to be that guy, but the Vikings aren't going to the Super Bowl, buddy. I know they're doing good this year, though. You're definitely got a good team now.
I'm a Vikings fan.
You are?
Casual fan.
He's a Vikings fan too. He's like a diehard Vikings fan.
Yeah.
Solidarity. I have a cousin that's diehard.
I'm a Cowboys fan, like real men. But that's all right.
Oh, okay.
You guys probably aren't going to the Super
No,
Bowl
we're probably
either.
not going to the Super Bowl either. But I will just let everyone know that this is going to be our year. Whatever that means. That's just what we say.
That usually is supposed to mean it's the year you're going to win the Super Bowl.
No, that's just what we say every year. As Cowboys fans, this is our year.
It's like every time the Steelers fans go, Steelers are going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, it's the Cowboys. It's the Cowboys year, buddy. It's the Cowboys year. So we got to talk about Arizona.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so crazy to me how this whole thing went down. So, I mean, we're talking 2 hours into voting, and Maricopa County, which is the biggest county.
Yep.
A huge fucking county in Arizona. It's where most people in Arizona live. The rest of Arizona is mostly rural, except for like Pima County.
Yeah, the same Maricopa County that had all sorts of issues during the last election
not a
cycle.
Good reputation from 2020.
No. And so it was like I was just barely at work, and I opened my phone. I start trying to look up the election results. I'm like, is anybody voting yet? Start counting, and it's like I'm already watching videos where they're like 20% of the 240 voting stations in Arizona, in Maricopa County specifically, are not working.
Listen, it's just not real. That's not real.
It doesn't.
There's
happen.
no way. It doesn't make sense. You've tested and retested those machines. You would assume. Yeah. Up until that day, you're running. That doesn't make any sense.
0 sense at all.
That's planned.
And it was like the same machine that we have here in Iowa, right? Like I walked in, I did my vote, I walked over, and my thing went right in and gave me a receipt, and I was good.
Yep.
Like right on the spot. It was no issues whatsoever. And that's just not how those machines work. You know what I mean? Like they don't just it won't load your ballot. Sorry. Like that's not how that works.
Well, we've been psyoped in Iowa because we had Iowa tested basic skills, and it's little dots ABCD, and you put it in the machine. So we're taught from age 7 that this is a reliable machine.
Yeah.
Apparently, your 420th kid or whatever tried to say my favorite phrase, but
Oh no, that's
YouTube.
He gets so every month that you're a member.
Yeah.
Or it may even be like every week you're a member. You get a
yeah,
member
but
chat.
it's a special chat.
Yeah, it is a
but
special chat.
it wouldn't let him say "yep, cock," which
No, he's making a joke.
yeah.
No,
well, I'm assuming that "yep, cock" is what he's saying. My favorite
but he's
phrase
saying
is
that Susan wouldn't let him.
Yeah, I know.
My
I know
head.
the joke,
But do you know
I
who
was
Susan is?
Yes, Susan Wojcicki.
No.
Yes, she's the CEO of YouTube. I know what I'm talking about.
Oh, is that what he's talking about?
Yes.
Oh, I thought he was talking about Susan Hogarth, the lady who tries to fucking police all the Libertarian National Committee speech. Anyway.
No, Susan Wojcicki, the CEO of YouTube. So I'm guessing he literally couldn't put it in there.
Oh,
but
that's stupid.
this also brings up the point of, you didn't ever introduce us, so I didn't get to ask for any yep cocks in the chat today. So chat, give me some motherfucking
the show finally
yep
got
cocks.
less gay for one night. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we did. I mean, last show was like what, 7 men?
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was a good show.
Mhm.
I mean,
That
that
was-
was
It
that
cut
was
us
great.
off though at an hour and was it 92 minutes?
Yeah, it
cut
was
us
night.
off.
Well, no, actually, I remember when I looked down, it was 92 minutes since the stream had started. So it was 90 minutes on the dot when it cut off. It has to be some kind of timer.
It must be.
Yeah.
Which is so bizarre. I shouldn't. I literally I have like the professional OBS. Like I pay for OBS every month.
Yeah.
$20. So if you guys could join my Patreon and help me subsidize a little bit.
OBS?
Yeah.
Okay.
Open broadcast software.
Open
It's
That's what I use to.
If you're
Yeah.
listening in the chat, go on Reddit. Get some OBS. There's got to be an OBS Reddit. Find out if there's a 90-minute limit.
Everything's. It's the front page
Find
of
out
the
in 10
internet.
minutes.
in terms of OBS, like I've used it to stream before for longer than 90. I don't know what the fuck.
Interesting. It was the Fetterman campaign shutting us down.
Well, we were talking about candidates that are unpopular, and Larry. I don't know. That's one of the races I haven't seen. Larry ran a write-in campaign, so he's not even on the website.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he got. I have to find out. I'm sure it was not much, but probably decent for Larry. Hackenberg got like 1.5% in his gubernatorial race. Josh Shapiro won that. Shane did not do very good. I don't even think he got 1%. He got like 25,000 votes. And I don't know if that's because, he went on the debate and fucking just railed Abrams and Kemp or what, but he did not do very good. And I have not looked at the totals again for Dennis since we were counting before. I think Dennis got about.
Dennis did not do very good.
Was it
got
less
like
than 1%?
one?
Was it 1%?
Like might have been less than one. Rubio absolutely.
And
Stomped
I
that.
don't know how Floridians can look at Marco Rubio and be like, "That's our guy." Doesn't make any sense to me.
I can relate to that. Like 6 years ago,
Yeah, 6 years ago.
Rubio was my fucking guy.
Yeah, but you also like.
Is that
listen,
New York transplants, though?
Listen,
Is it maybe
listen,
New York
listen.
transplants?
No. We have to take this with a grain of salt here with Ryan, because Ryan, who's your favorite rapper?
XXX Tentacion.
So we have to. Everything that you say has to
MG.
come at a grain of salt because that's your favorite rapper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about it?
Well,
That made my chest hurt.
there's something I'd like to do to white people who are lambasting me as a racist. I always ask them, okay, who's your favorite rapper? And they never can give me an answer. Okay. And that's really bad and fake and gay. Okay.
I can name
No,
fucking
that's
20
great.
rappers.
But I would almost rather have you not give me an answer than say XXX Tentacion or whatever the fuck his name was.
XXX Tentacion.
Even gayer, dude.
Just because you hate art doesn't
Art.
mean you have to take it out on me.
Art.
Ooh.
I mean,
I hate art.
okay. Do you know what the name of my favorite song of all time is?
Probably as gay as his rap name. Well, go ahead, please.
It's called "I Spoke to the Devil Down in Miami, and he told me everything would be fine."
We need to cue up Lucky You with Eminem featuring Joyner Lucas. And there's some verses in
Oh,
there
yeah.
about mumble rap. They're
Also gay. Joyner Lucas is
would,
pretty good. I won't
Yeah,
deny.
Joyner-
I do like Joyner Lucas,
Joyner was,
but I think I'm a different. I'm like
his ADHD album
Hey,
wasn't
hey,
very good.
Let me get what I have to say. Okay.
No,
I'll fucking mute you, dude. I have the console over here. Okay. I don't know if it's just like a regional thing or an age thing. but I don't know how. Like I hear every time somebody tells me who their favorite rapper is, I scoff. I'm like, what the fuck is that, dude? Like I grew up in like the Tupac and Biggie era. Right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
I
even
did too, but
even
I mean,
cooler than that, like I'm from fucking the Bay Area, California. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
grew up with like RBL Posse and fucking Drew Down and San Quinn and fucking Sibo and Spice One and like.
yeah. So you're just
I've never heard of any of
you
these
got
people.
cut with West Coast right off the bat.
Well, I'm a West Coast kid,
Yeah.
dude, right? But it's also the best fucking rap in the history of rap.
I beg to differ, sir.
Yeah, you probably think you like the Southern rap. Shit.
I got cut on Southern rap in college, the Dirty South, when the
Okay.
Dirty South exploded. So it was Wu-Tang. Right before that, it was actually East Coast rap.
And don't get
That's
me
a
wrong,
lie.
I like a lot of the East Coast stuff.
It
too.
was Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang Clan was my introduction into rap.
True.
And then from there, it went to, Dirty South blew up at that point in time.
See, I never got into the Dirty South rap.
Yep.
There was a very few
Hot
rappers.
Boys, Lil Wayne, Juvenile.
No, dude.
Yep.
There's a couple.
I could name the
Master P,
rappers that
I do
got
love
me
Master
into
P,
rap.
but you know
Yeah.
Master P's from Richmond, California, right?
Oh, yeah.
He just
Oh,
moved
yeah.
to the South and then helped start the Southern
Yeah.
rap.
There's Texas rappers there.
There's a
from,
ton
like,
of
Cali,
Texas.
too.
There's so many Texas rappers though, dude.
The most cringe rapper that I enjoy would be Dangerous. It's the the character in Spring Break Forever. I'm blanking on his name.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know who
The
the
main
vast
character
majority
is
of
based
rappers
on
you've
him.
named. I don't know.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, the main character in Spring Breakers is based on Riff Raff and Dangerous. James, bring it up. Look it up. Spring Breakers.
oh my
God, I'm
it's
blanking
so
on
hard
his
for
name.
me, dude. Like I grew up listening to like Garden Block shit from Sacramento, like Brother Lynch and X Rated and Mr. Doctor and fucking all those guys, dude. Like I don't know. Every time I ask somebody what their favorite rapper is, it just makes me scoff. I don't know if it made me like a fucking rap elitist or what. But
Well, I mean, that's a big source of rap in the West Coast, man. It's like it's a different style,
yeah.
you know.
And of course, we had the Southern California rappers too. I mean, NWA and fucking, I mean, everything that spawned. Ice Cube,
Right.
Murder Inc. and fucking, it's just a lot. There's
It's
a lot.
OG gangster rap. It's just OG rap.
Yeah. And so I have this thing where if a white person's talking shit to me, calling me racist, I ask them what their favorite rap album is. They never have an answer for me.
Would it
Fucking
be
never. But I would rather you not have an
Alien,
answer.
the
than
character
say,
you're thinking of?
No. In Spring Breakers, it's James. I'm blanking.
James
on his name.
Franco.
Yes, Jesus.
He plays a
James
character
Franco.
named Alien.
Yeah, James Franco based his character on Riff Raff and Dangerous. Dangerous, 2 R's.
And don't get me wrong, there's other.
He's a Florida rapper.
Dude, I like all kinds of weird shit. I listen to Whit Lowry like more than any rapper right now, and he's like he's like the cry baby rap almost. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like,
Would you say crybaby rap?
yeah, I don't know how.
What's
to,
that?
I don't know how to explain. He's like a white kid, and he
Yeah.
fucking and he like puts like a ton of passion and emotion into his raps, and it's almost like he's crying. No,
Oh, a ton of passion and emotion into rap. You're
Like Whitey Ford?
what the? But you're out here calling X gay? Okay.
X sucks,
have you listened to 17 at all?
yes, I've listened to XXX Tentacion. I don't like him. He sucks. It's trash. Him and
But you're
isn't
like,
it mumble
oh,
rap?
the passion in rap. What the fuck? He was the one that pioneered that shit.
no, he didn't.
What?
Absolutely.
No.
No.
No, we're talking about 2 different.
You're
almost
fucking
genres,
too young
so
for this conversation, dude.
this mumble rap where they're on lean and it's severe brain
to be
damage.
fair, I don't think X was as much of a mumble rapper as some of the other mumble rappers.
Absolutely not a mumble rapper.
Okay, I stand
I
corrected.
disagree.
No, he's not the fucking Migos.
No, but I think
Okay,
he's
name
pretty
his
mumbly
number.
too.
Oh,
Like he came up
R.I.P.
around the
Takeoff.
same time, but like there's a little bit of times where he takes on the mumble rap style, but to categorize him as a mumble rapper just means you don't know what the fuck.
Okay,
Okay,
I
sorry.
know more. Have you ever
Oh.
seen the episode of Parks and Rec where
Yes.
Ron Swanson walks into the Home Depot and the guy's like, "Hey, sir, how can I
I know
help
more than you."
And he goes, "I know more than you." That's me with rap and you. Okay, so just
Yeah, but this specific rapper I know more.
yeah, because he's trash. He belongs in the trash with other rappers like Little Peep and fucking all those guys.
Let's hear him. Do we get violated if we play his music?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I played a little bit of his music, but
I'll listen to some after the show.
No, you can't do it on the show.
yeah, we can do it on the show.
We'll get
But
copyrighted. Oh, we're getting fucking bot chatted.
Sex-69.fun.
Hot girls are waiting here. Anybody?
Click it.
Any
Click
libertarians in the chat here who's never seen a woman? There you go. Go check
Most
that
of them.
So, dude, I don't know. What. Let's get back to the fucking what we're supposed to be talking about.
Yeah, let's get back on track, guys. Come on.
So I don't know where we're headed in this country, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, it was the fucking not a red wave." It is kind of a red wave.
Red puddle is.
It was a red puddle.
Yeah, red puddle.
But
a bit.
it's wild to me that like there wasn't more of a. This was just kind of status quo. It was like nothing significant had happened in 4 years.
It was just
which
a good
is
marginal
just
victory.
insane.
It's just like congratulations.
Yeah, and you know, it's so funny because both sides are like, "Oh, great, now we're gonna be gridlocked and this and that," and I'm like, "Oh, don't threaten me with a good time."
Yeah,
Like I want to be gridlocked.
I can't
How about
remember
we
who's
just
tweeting
do
it. They're like,
government
"Gridlock's good."
shutdown?
If there's anything we can do to keep Joe Biden from continuing to fuck up our country, I'm all for it.
I think it was Michael Heiss. I think he tweeted "Gridlock's good."
It's a good thing.
Like a pro gridlock tweet.
It's like every time the government shuts us down and everyone freaks out, I'm like, "Fuck yeah, dude."
They're hamstrung and they're not going to do anything dumb. Good. How long is that going to last? Let's make it last as long as possible.
I read that the student that shit got shut down, like literally as we were starting the show.
Good.
I'm not at all surprised. That was always a carrot on the stick for people to vote Democrat.
Yeah.
They do that every fucking.
Really ironic that it happened the day after.
The weed one was too, where I'm going to let. What did he say? I'm going to let him out of federal prison for weed possession.
There wasn't a single person.
There's nobody in federal prison for weed possession.
Well,
there's nobody.
Yeah, there is.
Really?
Yeah.
No, there wasn't.
There
wasn't
no one
a
in
single
federal
person.
prison.
Yeah, there are some
for simple marijuana
the
possession.
trafficking. There are.
Yeah, so
Trafficking,
for
dude,
whatever the shit
that's
was
not
that
the only
Biden
thing on the
pardoned,
arrest record.
not a single person was released from prison.
That doesn't.
Correct.
That doesn't surprise me. It's always
Correct.
this is how stupid Americans are, dude. Okay.
I'm not saying. Hold on.
I
I'm not
gotta
saying
say,
I don't want people
I
let
fell
out of
for it
jail
a little
for-
bit.
I don't.
Shut up. I'm just kidding.
I'm not saying I don't want people out of jail for weed. I'm not saying. I'm just saying it was an empty promise. He didn't. That was to get votes. It was an instant pander. If there were some felons that got their records expunged, great. But nobody walked out of a jail cell because of what Joe Biden did for weed.
Yeah, I fell for it initially. I was like, great, more people are going to be reunited with their family. Then I learned that, and I was like, well, hopefully get shit off their record, but this...
They do this
he
every
got
day.
me.
They slip it through. It's a Google search away. It's a Google search away to prove it wrong, and no one does it.
They do this
They're busy.
every fucking election. Okay, they throw out like 3 or 4 fucking big issues that affect a bunch of people on the left, and the left goes, hell yeah, we're gonna vote Democrat so we can save our baby murder and our weed and our fucking student loan debts and this and that, and then they fucking go and they vote, and then nothing fucking changes, and then they just forget about it for the next 2 years, and they do the same thing 2 years later, and they're fucking idiots. The Republicans do it too.
They banked on Roe v. Wade, and that shit died. It died too quick.
Oh, and then they tried to.
There was no momentum from it.
And you want to hear my conspiracy theory on the Paul Pelosi attack?
Yes,
I think it was all
Let's
to
do it.
garner fucking sympathy for Nancy Pelosi. 100%,
Ooh.
because she's fucking out, dude. She's on her way out.
Right.
As Speaker of the House, and Mitch McConnell's on his way out of fucking Senate Majority Leader. They're
This is
gone.
latch ditch. Here's what I thought. Here's what I thought right off the bat. I go, okay, let's take everyone at their word. This guy was in the house with a hammer going after Paul Pelosi. It's 80 years old. Bro, you can take out an 80-year-old with one swing of a hammer.
Easily.
Like one good swing, he's dead.
Well, and then it comes out they both had hammers.
What?
Have you not seen that?
They're hammered. It was hammered dildos, wasn't it?
They
I
both
heard it
had
was hammered dildos.
hammers. The window was broken from the inside out.
It was
I mean,
a
it was-
meth fight. It was just a meth fight, wasn't it?
Oh, dude, totally. And they live up on the hill in San Francisco and shit. It's really easy to get fucking male prostitutes and drugs and all that shit there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what it
Did you
was.
take my last rig, Paul?
And so
where are you? Where's Nancy?
And so they have. Yeah, where's Nancy?
No, the Where's Nancy? Listen, the Where's the Nancy thing never. Was there any audio of that?
it never
no,
happened.
no.
Never happened.
The Where's Nancy thing was a throwback to J6. They were trying to do a J6
Right.
superimpose. Oh my
Well,
god!
and then so someone did like the Google Maps thing and like looked at the fucking house, and there's cameras everywhere,
yeah,
all over around the whole outside of the house. There's
But they
cameras.
were
Fucking there's a
all
fence, a wall.
conveniently
it
dead
doesn't
at the
take that
same
guy
time.
getting there, and he's like, come on in, man.
Yeah. So we'll never see that footage
No.
ever. And there's a reason why we'll never see that footage. They could easily be like, all of you fucking loony conspiracy theorists, here's the footage. But you'll never see it.
Yeah.
And we're just going to keep being blamed as conspiracy theories. But you know what a conspiracy theory really is, right? It's the truth 6 months later.
Yeah.
Every time. Every fucking time, dude.
It'll turn out to be the same FBI agents that kidnap Whitmer.
They don't want to release the footage because we'd see Nancy's tits.
No, dude, shut the fuck up.
What was that?
I said they don't want to release the footage because we'd see Nancy's tits.
Bro, even if there was
can already
camera
see
footage, it
Nancy's
doesn't pan low enough to catch the bottom of her titties, dude, okay? Jesus fuck. No, there was never any truth to that story, in my opinion. I think it was 100% a con job. I think that they had a real issue at the house, and then they were like, how can we spin this to get us fucking sympathy? And that's what they did. And we'll never see the footage. We'll never get testimony. We'll never find out who the unknown person that opened the door for the police was, because that's in the report, right?
Okay, I heard when he got pulled over for his D-dub that there was a young male in the vehicle that fled.
Right.
That fled the vehicle.
Correct.
There's a young male there that fled, and now the same thing. There's an altercation in his house, and there's questions about who was there and how he got in.
He's picking up gay prostitutes, dude.
Yeah,
for sure, in San Francisco, and taking them up to
definitely plausible.
Taking them up to the hill and fucking doing drugs, and while Nancy's in DC, he's doing his thing. He's partying. We already know he drinks and drives.
Yeah, Nancy turned off the spigot like 20 years ago. Who knows?
Dude, she's a dried up, crusty old bitch. There's no doubt about it.
She
definitely got
Paul
cobwebs.
Pelosi makes like millions and millions off the stock market.
Right.
Yeah, it's probably a cold grilled cheese sandwich down there.
It's probably worse, dude. I hate to think about it. I don't want to talk about it any further.
Leather wizard sleeves.
Like, you guys are literally going to give me nightmares now. It's like,
I thought you don't see other women.
it's like an extra large Arby's beef and cheddar. It's been sitting around for 80 years. A little gray these days, buddy. Anyways, that's disgusting.
That's gross.
But no, I believe that was a conspiracy to garner sympathy for Nancy Pelosi and her family, because they know she's on her way out as the Speaker of the House.
You make a compelling argument.
Yeah, and I'm just waiting for the sympathy from Mitch McConnell, because we know he's on his way out as the Senate Majority now. You know what I mean? And how long has Mitch McConnell been the fucking Senate Majority Leader?
How long do you see turtles?
How long has he been in the Senate, dude? I mean, it's got to be fucking 50 years now or something, right? I mean, it's been a long time, 40 years.
I wonder if he's been in there longer. He hasn't been there as long as Biden, though. Biden's got more years.
No, Biden's been in there for like fucking 55 years.
45, 50.
45, has Grassley been in there longer?
No. Grassley's been in there a long time too, but Biden's been in much longer than Grassley.
Okay, I know Grassley's been in there like my whole life.
Grassley,
86.
I'm not a fan of Chuck Grassley. I actually voted for Grassley just because I was like, for those of you that don't know, I voted straight red on all of the fucking partisan races except for governor. I voted for Rick Stewart. I did not vote for.
I did the same thing. And you had a couple of great write-in votes.
Yeah, I wrote in AJ Fisher. Yeah, I wrote in Ryan Kurt, and I wrote in Ron Paul, and I wrote in Harambe. And these were all the nonpartisan races that I didn't actually study up on. So I wasn't gonna pick anybody. And then I voted no to reinstating every single judge.
So I do that every time. Is this a common thing? My thinking is, you don't want to get in there and maybe get your palms greased or get complacent or get bored. I don't know. That's just my thought process. Just let's get fresh blood in there all the time.
Right.
I don't know.
At some point when I'm bubbling in all these no's on all the judges, right? I kind of started thinking like, well, what if some of these judges are like good judges that don't prosecute bad shit? And then I was like, no, that's fucking silly. That never happens.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
So fuck all of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wrote you guys both in for Water and Soil Commission.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd get the win.
I did NOTA on a a lot of them.
Oh, that's a good one too. Yeah. I want to do.
What's NOTA?
No, none of the above.
None of the above.
Oh.
I want to very strongly.
It's a protest vote.
I would like to very strongly work on like some kind of coalition across the country to get NOTA on every state ballot in one of the next 2 elections.
Ooh,
how fucking cool would that be?
Yeah.
What a statement that would be if we could try to get a way to get that on there.
I have a proposition instead of NOTA.
I'm not gay, buddy, so
it's Nick Sarwark.
Keep it PG, all right?
Instead of NOTA, it's Sarwark. and we just try and get him elected all
Fuck
across
Nick
the
Sarwark.
nation
No.
into like
I
a
will
local
froth at the
office.
mouth.
I could not bring myself to vote for Nick Sarwark, dude. That's actually voting for a federal agent. Like,
But
knowingly.
I mean, what would happen if the same person got elected to like 120 different local offices all on the same day across all 50 states?
He'd just like it.
He'd be like,
it.
oh, finally someone cares about me.
Yeah.
Yay, let's take 8 more vaccine boosters.
He's Homelander without the superpowers.
Dude, he's worse than that, bro. He's worse than that. I fucking hate that guy so much, dude. I cannot stand Nick Sarwark. And you guys know that he was legitimately like my arch nemesis. You know what I mean? Like for 3 years straight. I mean, I had to deal with this guy on a daily basis.
The fake shoulder charge was just like the nail
It was
in
like
the coffin.
LeBron floppy.
Yeah, the wooden stake and the vampire, whatever. I saw that and I went, dear God.
See, I had been
Dear God.
I
what are
had
we
known
doing?
I had already known years prior to that he was a fucking phony. And I've talked a lot about it on shows and stuff, how you know, I think his car business in Phoenix was a front. I think it was an address for his federal activities. I think that when WikiLeaks released his address as a known asset to Stratfor, I think that's because he's a known asset to Stratfor. I think that he came out of nowhere in the Libertarian Party in fucking Maryland. Okay, he's from Arizona and he came out of nowhere in fucking Maryland. Okay, what's in Maryland, bro? What's in Baltimore and DC? I mean, all around. It's all fed. You got the CIA, the NSA, the fucking FBI. I mean, all that shit's there. Okay. And he comes out of nowhere and becomes the fucking vice chair of the Maryland State Party out of nowhere, and then moves to Colorado, where they're becoming successful, and becomes the chair of Colorado, and then moves back to Arizona and becomes the chair of the National Party. Jesus. And listen, he told us all that he's a generational libertarian, that both of his parents were libertarians. But I've looked up the fucking registration. They're both Democrats. Okay, the guy's a fucking liar. He's a fraud. He's a phony. And I think he is I absolutely believe with every fiber of my soul that he's a federal agent sent into libertarian causes. This is his job to go and try and fuck up whatever they're doing. Because look, even when he lost chair and he's living in Phoenix with his family and all this shit, where did he go next? He went to the fucking Free State Project, dude. They don't even like him there. Why would you go there? They don't like you in the Free State Project. You're not wanted there. You're not helpful to their causes. He goes there, splits up the fucking Libertarian Party in New Hampshire, starts running candidates against the New Hampshire Party, starts a policy institute and a fucking Wedge Squared, which is his consulting firm.
Okay, now there's a connection to Iowa with this. You know this, right?
Well, there's a connection all over the country because what he started doing was recruiting people to help run candidates against the Libertarian Party as libertarians. You can't tell me that's... Listen, if Nick Sarwark is not a Fed, if Nick Sarwark is a Fed, or what's the term? Oh, if he isn't a Fed, I mean, could he be fucking up the party? I mean, how could you fuck up the party this bad and this movement this bad without being a federal agent? I mean, you know what I mean?
It explains a lot.
If he is a Fed, would he be doing anything different than what he's doing now? That's what I was trying to say. I mean, honest to God, dude. And I had this argument with Scott Horton on the show here, on my show. And he yelled at me, dude, for like 15 minutes straight about it. You don't have any fucking, and I love Scott, but Scott gets very heated and passionate about things. You don't have, oh, come on, Josh, you don't have any fucking proof. I said, dude, I worked on a board with him for 2 years. I watched every time the Libertarian Party had an opportunity to move forward, he took it backwards, dude. And he came out of Maryland out of the blue. He started taking leadership positions. He fucking, he starts this Wedge Squared and this Libertarian Policy Institute to run candidates against libertarian candidates. The first fucking check for his Policy Institute, guess where that came from? Fucking Bill Weld.
Interesting.
I mean, it's a scam, dude. He's a fucking federal agent. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah. There's a lot of people in the party that have said that.
Well, it was very clearly trying to take the party to the left. He admitted as much to Karen Ann Harlos and some other people. Okay, and he damaged fucking probably 20 years worth of right libertarian work in a 4-year period. Okay, why would you do that unless you were trying to cause division and chaos and keep something from being, you know?
So let's keep. I'll say allegedly. Okay, if he's an alleged Fed, what would his role be then? Just as a spoiler?
I think
As
it's
like
I think
just-
it's a chaos agent.
Yep.
You know, and you know, people are like, oh yeah, well, like anybody would need to do that with the Libertarian Party. Yeah, dude. If you knew, listen, there's no reason that the Libertarian Party can't be successful. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Yeah,
okay?
we've shown that.
There's no reason
Yeah.
why we can't be successful. Okay, there's no reason that we can't have a third party in this country and can't fucking give other people options and actually win elections and all that shit, except for there's conspiring forces that go out of their way to keep us down, right? Ballot access laws that are always put into place by Republicans and Democrats. Okay, campaign finance laws that always go against us. I mean, there's just a ton of things. So you can't tell me that we're playing on on level footing and losing, because we're not. You know what I mean?
No, that's right.
And so if you see a movement starting to become successful, which over the in 2016 when this all started, when Nick became the chair and all this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gary Johnson got almost 5 million votes for president. I mean, he almost got the required 5% so that we would be a major party in the entire country and be debate access and ballot access and all that stuff all across the country. That's becoming successful. Now, I don't like the way it became successful. I don't like Gary Johnson, and I hate Bill Weld, and I think the party was taking the wrong turn. Of course, Nick was at the helm. Okay? So what do? You come in, you fucking just absolutely kill it numbers-wise. I'm everybody's God. I'm the one who's going to take this party forward, and then you spend 4 years after that dropping everything.
Wow.
Everything, right? I mean, that's how it works, dude.
It's really compelling, man.
That's how it works. That's what you do. I'm telling you, he could not do anything better if he is a federal agent. I mean, he's doing it already.
So I'm gonna let's finish the equation here. Hypothetically, what would it take to prove that he's an FBI, that he's a government asset?
Oh man,
how can we prove it?
I think it's already to me personally, it's been proven. Okay, when WikiLeaks, who I trust very, I mean, they're very rarely wrong.
Yeah.
And when they are wrong, they issue a retraction. And that's real journalism. WikiLeaks. I mean, Julian Assange, he's not in jail for nothing right now, dude. He's in jail because he fucking was telling the truth.
Yeah, WikiLeaks has a good record for dropping.
I don't think anybody in journalism has a better record than WikiLeaks. Okay, and they put out a fucking list of high-level assets for Straffer. Okay, government contractor.
Yep.
Who's like works in intelligence.
Yeah.
Okay, and his fucking name and address were on the list. And he explained it away as my brother-in-law bought me a year subscription to the magazine, and that's why my name's on there. No, bitch. First of all, no one's going to give you a birthday present as a Straffer magazine as a libertarian. Not something we need or care to have. Okay. Second of all, that's not what WikiLeaks said it was. WikiLeaks specifically said it was a list of high-level assets for Straffer. They're the ones that fucking post the list. Bitch, I don't believe you. I already have the proof I need, in my opinion.
Bring us a fucking magazine.
It's just, yeah. Show me
Where's the magazine, Nick?
Where is the fucking magazine, Nick? Yep. Show us the fucking magazine, Nick.
Here we go.
Show us the one with the date and your name and address on that motherfucker. I want to see it. Because you're lying.
Nick Sarwark, if you're listening, take a shot. Take a quick pic of that magazine with your address on it. Send it to us.
We know you're a fucking federal agent, dude. I don't give a shit when anybody. He's either a federal agent.
Put it right next to your badge.
He's either a federal agent or he's a federal asset. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's he somehow either.
It gets real tricky trying to prove that people are informants.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Obviously, an agency asset, someone that's actually involved in the agency, you can eventually uncover a paper trail and
Right.
You're going to find a digital footprint somewhere. If you're just informing, it can be tough.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if it's one or the other. I can't prove whether it's one or the other. But either he was compromised in some way.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, so this is what you're going to do for us now, which is very likely. Okay, especially used car dealership, business. He used to be, that's the other thing. He was a public defender, right? And then all of a sudden he just doesn't practice law for fucking a decade. What kind of lawyer gets a law degree, okay, becomes a public defender, and then just dips out of law for 10 years? That doesn't happen. That's not something that happens.
It doesn't happen with men. Like, that happens all the time with women.
Well, yeah, sure, because they got to go home and take their shoes off and cook dinner and make babies. I mean,
well, they just want to become parents, and so they drop out.
No, but it's the truth. I mean, that's not something that happens. You don't get a fucking prestigious, state job like that, because it's it's good pay, the best benefits you can possibly ever imagine, and the best retirement you can ever imagine, to become a state or federal employee. Okay, so you become and it's all from our tax money, right?
Yeah.
So you become a public defender, and then you move up to a fucking county judge, and you know what I mean? You or even just the DA or something. Like, you never just stop practicing law for 10 years unless something happens. Something had to happen, right? 10 years ago, somebody came to him and said, "Hey, you fucked up here, bud, and we're gonna fuck you real good. But we see you have some sway here, so can we talk to you for a little bit?" And Nick goes, "Well, I got, at that time, probably 2 kids, a wife. I own a dealership and this and that, and I don't want to lose all this. Sure, I'll do whatever you guys need me to do. Well, you see that party over there? We need you to go fuck it up real good. But first, you got to come in and make a huge difference and tell everybody you're the greatest fundraiser and the greatest this and that and this and that, and we'll help you out. Make sure that all happens. But then you got to start taking it the other way."
Just for evidence in the chat, my brakes work okay on my Jeep. I don't want to harm myself, and I'm in perfect health.
Okay. I have 6 kids, so I saw at some point somebody's gonna be like, "Oh no, he killed himself. Fuck that guy." You know what I mean? Ryan's a new husband and has no kids, so he's definitely happy and not depressed or gonna kill himself either. No, but it's true. It's the truth. I honestly
says the man. He says to the man that's had depression since he was 12.
I'm also depressed and have been on meds and stuff. But I don't think that we need any more proof whether Nick Sarwark is a Fed or not. I think we've already gotten the proof, in my opinion. And he's even slipped up and said, "Oh, when I worked for the state," well, he could have been talking about public defender, or I don't know. You know what I mean? But the guy's a fucking.
I mean, that one's not a stretch for him to say when I worked for the state and him being a public defender.
If you look at his Twitter handle, it's NSA Wark, because it's Nick Sarwark. And he goes by, his Twitter handle is literally NSA.
This is the part where me and Ryan take our badges out. We stand up. We're like, "Take your hand off the mouse."
Well,
say hello to
the other day, AJ and I were talking, and AJ was like, I feel like I have like a pretty good idea when like somebody's a Fed or something, and I just go, "Huh, weird that you haven't figured out that I'm one."
I'm going out in a blaze of fucking glory. You guys are Feds, just so you know, dude. You're gonna have to take me all the way out.
Careful.
Okay,
YouTube. YouTube.
I used to like work at a Casey's, and this was like right after college. I was having trouble finding a job, and I needed one to be able to get my new apartment. So I literally just went into a Casey's and basically said, "You're hiring me because I have 2 years of experience." And
making them breakfast pizzas, bro.
And so I was working for Casey's like on the weekends, and then this programming job, and all my coworkers thought I was a plant from corporate. All my coworkers
like
did.
Way overqualified.
And then I later went on to work for corporate.
When I got out of the military, I got a bunch of offers to go work for the what county was it? Alameda County Sheriff's EOD team.
Whoa.
Yeah, just like out of the blue, like, "Hey, come be SWAT, come do this." And I was like, I thought about it for a while. I was like, well, one of the most dangerous counties in California, bomb squad, that'd be kind of cool. Fuck it, you know what I mean? Yep. That'd be fun. And thankfully that was You know, I was still.
You went Navy, right?
I was Navy. Yeah.
Okay, so they're trying to create you out of that, so then they train you up for bomb disposal. And
That's
where's
it was like
Alameda?
it's a SWAT, so it's like
Okay,
Alameda
SWAT,
County
okay.
Sheriff SWAT, and
Okay.
then they also have
SWAT,
the EOD part
yeah.
of that, so you can like specialize. You know.
Yep.
So I was like, oh fuck, that'd be kind of cool. But then I was also in the process of like trying to process my own like grief and guilt from Baghdad, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to step on any of my friends' toes that have PTSD or anything like that. Like, I understand that I didn't see battle like you did, but I had some really bad issues when I got home dealing with the fact that I knew what Baghdad was like. And I knew that I was directly responsible for helping to drop 100 million tons of ordnance on Baghdad.
Yeah.
Okay. So I still like grieve about that and try to process that now, even at almost 40 years old, over 20 years later. Okay. It's a fucking, that's one of the reasons why I became an anti-war activist. It's one of the reasons why I refuse to work with the two old parties anymore. It's one of the reasons why my biggest issue is the anti-war issue, is because it's the only way I know how to try and make what my job was, or my friends' jobs, or what ship I was on, and how we were directly responsible for the deaths of a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's the only way I know how to give back and try to make amends for that, right? And especially in my faith, right? It's like you have to try and rectify your sins, and that was, you know, in my opinion, war is hell and it's bad. It's not a good thing, and I'm sure that God doesn't condone it. And I think someday when we get to the kingdom age, that's the only way war is ever going to end, in my faith, right? I know you guys, I know you're not religious, but I think that's the only way that war is ever going to end, is when we get to the kingdom age, which we talk about in the Bible and stuff. But
well, it's a Plato quote I use all the time: "Only the dead know the end of war."
Right. And I don't
That's
think we'll ever see the end of war. And so for you guys that don't know, I'm getting baptized, not this Sunday, but the following Sunday. And yesterday, when I went to pick my kids up from Awana, I had to sit down for an hour with my pastor and talk it out with them, because they want to make sure that you know what you're doing, why you're doing it, you have good reasons, all this stuff. And we had this conversation about war, because I told them, you know, for a long time I had a lot of feelings and hatred towards God, and I blamed God for a lot of things, and to the point of where I just didn't talk to God anymore, and they didn't know it was real and all this. And a lot of that stems from my depression, but also my time in the military and my guilt of what we did and what our job was, and our mission was corrupt, and this and that. And so I actually had a lot of talk about this, but I'll tell you what, it's really funny. We're almost done here, but I've been through huge talks. I've given lots of big speeches, 45-minute, hour-long speeches, this and that, and this and that. I've never been so nervous to go and sit down face to face with one person and talk to them as I was yesterday, to go sit down and talk to my pastor about being baptized, because they want to know that you know what you're doing. They want to know that you understand, and that you've actually really given yourself to Jesus, and know that you're a sinner and all this stuff. And I was like nervous that I was going to get it wrong. You know what I mean? But that wasn't ever what it was about. He just wants to work through it with you to make sure that you get it. Right. It wasn't like a test, but it felt like a fucking test, right? Like, okay.
So have you never been baptized before?
I've never been baptized.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
So if a baby's baptized, you know, you're wiping away the original sin.
No, that's not what it is. I think that's a
some of them, right?
I think that's a miscommunication, like that it washes your sins away. And here's the thing about baptism, right? And this is why I don't think babies should be baptized.
Well, I was raised Lutheran,
right?
So they do it different ages too,
right,
in different denominations.
Being baptized is literally just a
public declaration.
It's a public declaration that you've given your life to Jesus, that you've claimed and confessed that you're a sinner, and know that the only way you can make eternal life is to give yourself to God.
Okay.
So it's just a public declaration. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with washing your sins away.
But there's fundamental denominations that it's until the baby is baptized, like they're available for they're vulnerable to evil.
Right.
So and it kind of got mixed up with a child dedication.
Yeah, it's like an evil force field.
I don't know. That's very much gone away in most things, because I was raised both Catholic and Lutheran, and
is that a Catholic thing? Maybe
no.
Oh, okay.
Catholics do baptize,
but they
babies.
do baptize babies. So do Lutherans.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's more like a child dedication.
I've been going to a
I was baptized.
We've
as a
been going
baby.
to a Torah Old Testament observant Christian church.
Okay.
Now I've gotten in my beliefs much more orthodox over the last year than I ever have been. But this church is in Iowa, the only church I know of that was straight up refusing to have masks at the church. They like really were like, no, we're old school. We believe in God and our faith and was going to protect us. And it like they're fucking hardcore, dude. For a mega, it's a mega, right? Like it's considered a mega church, but
Yeah.
They're like Torah observant and Old Testament observant. So it was like perfect for me, who's, and my kids love it because they have Awana and the kids stuff and kids classes and all that. So it's like, it's good. Like I could go to a Orthodox church on my own and I'd like to. My kids will hate it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like old world Christianity and it's going to be boring for them. I enjoy it. But this church has a lot of sermons from the Old Testament, follows a lot of the old traditions. So
Are they like reading Latin and stuff?
no.
Okay.
No. Anyways.
I've heard Latin Mass is kind of cool to just go to.
Well, I've been to Latin Mass. I grew up, my grandfather's Catholic, and we used to go to Catholic Mass. I used to go to midnight Mass on Christmas and all that stuff.
I went to Catholic elementary and middle school.
Yeah.
And so we'd have like Mass on, depending on the years, Thursday or Friday for like the school. And then I would go to Lutheran Mass on Sunday and eventually
Catholicism is
non-denominational.
cucked, dude. No. I mean, all the modern churches are just getting absolutely fucking cucked. They're all falling to their knees and praying to the woke mob now.
Oh, there's viral videos on Fleckus Talks
Yeah.
on Rumble.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, that's really what pushed me more towards the Orthodox frame, because the Orthodox are never going to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't understand. Orthodox was what Catholics fucking fell away from and became Catholics, right? And Orthodox they're still old world believers that stick to their fucking principles. They're never going to cook to the woke mob, the Orthodox Church. And so like that was kind of what pushed me more towards the Orthodox Church over the last year or two, is because I'm like, I'm not going to go to some fucking church that teaches my kids that, it's okay to fall away from these ideals as long as you're cucking to the woke mob. Like, no, fuck that.
The church
That's a strange ideology to have in a church, by the way.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
The church I got married at, we went there one weekend, and the entire sermon was about how to like biblically essentially go tell woke people to go fuck themselves. And it was like, this is examples of in the Bible how they like, refuse things. Here's how David refused things. Here's how, and I literally, like, we got a tour from the pastor, and he and I just started talking about like Dr. James Lindsay and all sorts of things like that for like an hour afterwards. And so that was a pretty cool church, but I do like the church I go to.
Speaking of kid baptisms, I got to go put my kids to bed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's getting late.
Both of our
run around
significant others have made a habit of posting in the chat.
Is yours in there now?
Yeah, she was in there earlier. She said she made it to it.
69 fun? Is that
No. Yeah, that's
baby no.
that's her in private, but but I mean, she's Melanie Kurt.
I didn't see her on there tonight.
Yeah.
I do see Julia in there saying that I need to go put my child to bed, and my 2-year-old has now he's over the last year become very, very obsessed with me. He was like attached to Julia. I mean, would not let her go for like a year, almost a year and a couple months. And then we went on our road trip in May to Reno for the national convention. We did 5,100 miles. Got COVID. He got really sick.
Mm-hmm.
He was the sickest of all of us. And he would not let me put him down, like when we left. And ever since that trip, dude, obsessed with me. Obsessed. He won't go to sleep without me anymore. He won't. Like I have to put him to sleep, or he won't do it. And he's just like super cuddly. He's giant. He's like almost 40 pounds now. He's a giant ass. Not even 2. He'll be 2 in December. He's a monster. To contrast that, Adric, our 11-year-old, when he was 9 when we got them, back in 2020, he was 9. He was 55 pounds at 9 years old. My almost 2-year-old is 40 pounds. Let that contrast.
He's gonna be a beast.
He's a monster. Dude.
Yeah, he's gonna be a beast.
He's an absolute monster. He's already outgrown like every pair of shoes we bought him. I mean, it's gonna be crazy. But he loves his daddy very much. And
daddies are security.
And I'm not complaining about it.
Keep calm.
I'm not complaining about it. I talked about it a little bit, but Joe Coy's got a new comedy special out. Who I love. Joe Coy's one of my favorite comedians. And he's like, people are asking me why I'm still holding my son at 5 and 6 years old. Like, I'm going to hold my son until he's 20. I'm going to hold my son as long as he'll let me hold him, because at some point he's not going to want me to hold him anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm going to miss that shit. Someday he's not going to have that cute little raspy voice anymore, and he's not going to dance around and smile and sing. And I don't want to miss any of that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I'm going to take every advantage, every chance I have to enjoy it. So it is time. It is time to go.
That's a wholesome note to end on.
Yeah.
It
was.
Yeah, shout out to our
Go have some
sponsors.
babies, everybody. Go have babies.
What?
Yeah.
What'd
I said shout out to our sponsors.
No, yeah, shout out to sponsors. I'm gonna stop doing sponsors at the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna start placing them in the show from now on. But I'm working on video ads for them, so I can just be like, and here's a message from our sponsor, and then press a button, and we can talk amongst ourselves.
I do have an idea. So this is like cycling, just break the cycle images.
Yeah.
But sponsor images.
We could
up
do
there.
that. Yeah, that would be good.
Or
there's
we
all
could
kinds
do
of
videos. Drop videos behind you too.
Well, I can just play the
Just
videos
an idea.
for
All
people right here.
Oh, okay.
Fucking
Yeah.
Boomer.
Yeah, we need to do that.
Anyways, I love you guys.
Yeah.
Hey, Ryan, you got anything before we take off?
Follow me on Twitter at BulldogGamer28. I know I'm difficult to find, so if you can't find me in the search function, just like check Josh's replies, and I'm in there about 50% of the time.
What about you,
Yep.
sir? You got an AJ? For
Poison_tip on TikTok
Yeah,
and
follow him on
most
his
social
Chinese-
media platforms. Come on TikTok and threaten me and tell me that you want $400 trillion in reparations.
Yes, please come on TikTok.
I could do that in real life.
Everyone go come on TikTok right now. I love you guys to death. I will have a show on Monday. I haven't booked a guest yet, but I am 50% hopeful that it's going to be a very big guest, and I'll let you guys know before the show, of course. But until then, don't forget to break the cycle.
Due to legal reasons, I just have to explain. The lyrics of my last song may seem to contain a violent call to action in the verse and refrain, but I just meant it in Minecraft. The helicopter part was in reference to GTA 5 and the things you do. So any violence you commit, I am not an excuse, because I just meant it in Minecraft. A trooper is my friend and he's constantly cold. Accusations of incitement getting totally old. Make your own choices, yeah, you have control, because I just meant it in Minecraft. Obviously I would never advocate force, unless there's due process and a trial, of course. And if you're convicted, we will make you a corpse in Minecraft, just in Minecraft. Nothing I mean, you know it. The product finished cause it closed to COVID.